All right, mucho gusto, Brett. Welcome to our leadership series. Thanks for participating from Chile, South America.
Thanks, Mark. Great to be here. Hola todo el mundo.
Gracias. I think a great place to start. First of all, it was terrific meeting you at the Wall Street Journal Middle Market Summit. I got a lot out of that. It was great to meet you, and I look forward to doing some good stuff, together, hopefully, which would be fantastic. Best way to start, I think, is if you can formally introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your background and what you do in global situation.
Sure. So I spent 12 years as a diplomat. Most of it was in countries in conflict, in crisis, and my last couple of years were at the White House, where I served as Director of Global Engagement, working on everything from U.S. public diplomacy programs, U.S. international media, such as the Voice of America, and also coordinating U.S. global entrepreneurship programs. And it was a fascinating job, once in a lifetime experience. And I decided at the end of it that I wanted to be entrepreneurial. And in fact, I told that to President Obama on my last day. And unfortunately, the president is someone who likes a lot of detail, so I had to do my first business pitch in the Oval Office, standing in front of the Resolute desk. So after that, all of my business pitches have been easier.
I bet. Tell us a little bit about what your company is, what your business does.
Sure. So the Global Situation Room tries to tap into the tradecraft of former ambassadors, diplomats, and other officials that have spent significant amounts of time overseas. And we use it to glean untapped market intelligence, insights onto international issues, to help companies that particularly are looking to go overseas or to come to the United States. We also do strategic communications, and we do a lot less of expense marketing campaigns and large ad buys, and we use the techniques and the tactics that as diplomats overseas we would employ to generate support for an issue or an idea, or in this case a product, and that involves a lot of precision communications. And so we're not using blunt instruments. We're really trying to figure out who do we want to reach, how is best to reach them, and then engaging through a continuum of contact until we've convinced them of the idea, of the issue, or of the product that we are putting before them. And then the last thing we do is a lot of crisis management. At the White House, I helped to develop something called counter-crisis communications. It's now evolved into counter-crisis management, where we really work with companies and organizations on figuring out well ahead of time not only where their vulnerabilities lie, but how do you develop a series of programs that could be deployed the moment that a crisis starts to emerge. Because when I came to the White House, we had to deal with the Central African Republic Civil War in South Sudan, and then Ukraine and ISIS afterwards. And we realized we were building the ark in a lot of these instances as the floodwaters were coming in. And it sure would be helpful if we had a few boats built ahead of time, and we could determine with a fair degree of probability what kinds of boats, what kinds of tools we would need ahead of time. And so we're employing tactic now as part of the Global Situation Room's crisis management program.
That actually sounds fantastic, and we're going to get a little bit into it more as we go along here. But great explanation. Thanks for starting out us on a positive note.
Thanks, Mark.